Greetings everyone and everybody who is watching this video. Well, another package as shown here, which is more like a package envelope, but let's see what's in it. TV dinner. eBay purchase. I wonder what's in here. Looks like a kit to me, I can tell. Let's see what I get out of it. Well, it's a Zero. It's a Japanese A6 M50 by Revell. Scale number 1 to 48. Kit number 85-5267. A5-5267. As some of you may read it. You can see it. Now I have another Zero as well. Now I've been holding this project for a while, and yes, I intend to build it as well, because this is actually one of my favorite Axis fighters from World War II. One of my favorite enemy airplanes is the Zero. Just Zero crazy. I have some other memorabilia of the Zero. This one here. This Zero here I bought at a flea market 6 years ago. Gosh, it's been 6 years already since I've had this. Now, it was not shrink wrapped and some parts are broken. But I'm alright with that because I have this thing called glue. And of course, this is an old kit. But I'm thinking to assemble this and put it together anyway, along with these other Zeros here. I'll tell you which ones are which. This one is from Hobby Lobby because I bought the project there and of course held on to it for a while. And of course, this one here I bought from eBay. This one I bought from a flea market. Or the flea market in Albuquerque, New Mexico, called Expo, New Mexico. If any of you live in Albuquerque, have been there, lived there for a while, of course still have some familiarity of Albuquerque, you're probably familiar with Expo, New Mexico. It happens at the fairgrounds. And of course, when and if the fair comes in, the flea market is taken down. Now, they're only open on the weekend, Expo, New Mexico, and of course there's no guarantee that you'll find these kits, which, by the way, I of course found. Now I have other decal options that I'm going to use. Like, more than likely, one of these Zeros here, either one, both, or all three, I'm going to paint them IJN gray to look like the earlier models of the Zero, at least one of these kits. The earlier models that were used during the attack on Pearl Harbor on 7 December of 1941. That's, of course, when the Zero gained even more of its infamy. Now, of course, the Zero had a very fearsome reputation beforehand. It succeeded the Mitsubishi A5M Claude, because the manufacturer of Mitsubishi here for the Zero, designed by Jiro Horikoshi, of course wanted to outdo the Claude. And not to mention, Zeros are also called Zeeks. And of course, the Flight test date, according to my understandings, was April Fool's Day, 1939. Was when this airplane took flight. At least the earlier models. Now, of course, sorry about that. I did not invent the zero. Ask me, where do you learn about zeros? Books, movies, things like that. Of course, Just Plain Fun, a website I frequently visited when I was 8 years old and in the 3rd grade. Actually, more like late 2nd grade, early 3rd grade. I was a regular customer there. And of course, Just Plain Fun. But I don't know how long that website has to stand. And not to mention, I was a frequent visitor to airliners.net as well at one point in time. So, that's another place where I learned this name. Now, I got some other memorabilia about zeros. And of course, in this video, while I'm looking for memorabilia, Happy Earth Day. And I'm observing Earth Day, of course, by recording this video with the charger out. So I'll have to hurry, though, before my camera and the video stops recording. Alright, I know I got some memorabilia. Voila. Now this flag here with the rays, you might associate this with Japan during World War II. But this flag here is currently being used by the Japanese Sea Self-Defense Forces. And of course, their other self-defense forces. I don't get offended by this, because I've seen them, of course, bear this before, the Japanese. And not to mention when I, of course, traveled overseas quite a lot, I've seen them fly this. And no, it doesn't offend me. But this is Japan's current flag right now. Well, of course, let's see how the mix goes. Well, as the video winds down, I will tell you other things about the Zero. Like, one of the first victims of a kamikaze, the USS St. Lo, was hit by a Zero. Like this one here, but I'm not sure exactly what color the Zero was. I do know for a fact that it was green. And of course in the movie Pearl Harbor, the green Zeros was a big error, I personally think, due to lack of research. Well, that's all I have for now. See you around.